So welcome to Tuesday morning, or if you're in Virginia, afternoon yoga. Please find a comfortable seat to start. So in the past weeks, actually, we've been reviewing the 8 limbs of yoga, and we finished the first limb, which are the yamas, the second limb, niyamas, and now we're on to the third limb, which is asana. To just give a little background, here's a short excerpt from Light on Yoga by modern father of yoga, BKS Iyengar. Yama and niyama control the yogi's passions and emotions and keep him or her in harmony with his or her fellow humans. Asanas keep the body healthy and strong and in harmony with nature. Finally, the yogi becomes free of body consciousness. He or she conquers the body and renders it a fit vehicle for the soul. The first 3 stages or limbs of yoga are the outward quest, also known as Bahiranga Sadhana. We'll get into the next 2 stages starting tomorrow. Here's a bit more from the Yoga Sutras, book 2, number 46. The Sanskrit is Sthira Sukham Asanam, and that means that asana is a steady, comfortable posture. Asana literally means seat. Sthira means steady, stable, or grounded or strong. And sukha means comfortable or with ease, peaceful. So as we move through various physical postures in the asana practice of yoga, just one of the 8 limbs, how do we find that balance of steadiness and ease? Taking a pause here because I noticed that my video just turned off. So I'm just fixing the cable a moment. Thank you for your patience, everybody. Apologize for that. There we go. So when you get into a posture that is challenging, how do you maintain that balance of firm concentration, strong groundedness, that ease? It's a constant finding that equilibrium where you're challenging yourself just enough, but not too much, where you could still feel that you're breathing smooth and balanced. The Ujjayi breath is a great regulator of that balance of energy. Working with the cables here. Excuse me for a moment. There we go. So in Yoga Sutra, book 2, number 47, tells more about asanas by lessening the tendency for restlessness and by meditating on the infinite that's beyond the body, then posture or asana is mastered. I decided to do more internet research and found an article in the Yoga Space. It says the asana practice works the physical body so the mind has a healthy and peaceful place to reside, as well as the spirit. We cannot just work the body and expect to be healthy if the mind is not strong and balanced. You cannot think destructive thoughts or feed your mind unhealthy things and expect the body to shine. No matter how much you do asana practice, the body will not reach its optimum state of being without the support of the mind, and vice versa. Yoga asanas are different ways to shape our body, creating a certain flow of energy. As you feel from one posture to another, different areas feel targeted, not only physically, but energetic release of feelings of stuckness. So each shape has a different effect on our prana, which means life force energy. Chinese medicine calls it qi. Different studies call it different things. They're synonymous. And postures can be sequenced in a multitude of ways to support the practitioner in physical, energetic, mental, and emotional health. So as we contract through emotions like anger or fear, our bodies, right, they contract as well as our emotions, our inner beings. And they can inhibit the flow of life force, thus causing what we call dis-ease disease. So asanas help us to become aware of this and rebalance ourselves, letting go of accumulated stress that doesn't allow us to feel free to be fully ourselves. Just as we open and strengthen our bodies, we open our mind's perspective, release ourselves of energetic, so-called knots, as I call them, and strengthen our will to focus on what we consciously choose to put our energy, and thus our creative power. Mindfulness is what we practice in asana as well. It reinforces the connection between the body and the mind, and we can use the body as a tool for getting into the present moment. The body is always in the present, yet the mind can wander off into the past and future constantly. So tuning into the body gives us a chance to tune into the moment, to quiet the mind, to use the breath as that bridge between inner and outer being, and remind us of our alignment between body and mind. So the most important alignment is not about your physical body, but how you experience yourself in the poses and what the poses do for your inner alignment. So let's dive into the asanas today and how we use them purposefully, not just to achieve a physical sense of strength, but to be here fully, mind, body, spirit, whole. As you sit tall, let your left and right sitting bones firm downward, allowing your spine to lift upward. Feel a broadening across your collarbones as you slightly lift your heart, tilting the chin softly down so it parallels the earth. Feel how your shoulders are situated and affecting perhaps the way you're breathing naturally. Taking a moment here to tune in to what's present in your body right now. What's present in your mind and energy. So uniquely meeting ourselves where we are. Perhaps establish an intention, whether it be a quality that you want to reinforce or cultivate within yourself, within your experiences today, or a dedication of your practice. As you bring the hands together at the heart, this gesture of union. Taking a deep breath in, feel upright and tall in your body. Then open the mouth, exhale deeply, allowing the breath to become gently more audible as you breathe out. Taking deep, balanced breaths, close the lips, and now just breathing through the nose. Expand the belly as you breathe in using your diaphragm. Allow the belly to soften and hollow towards the spine as you breathe out. Either continue the sustained deep breathing through the nose, or we'll practice, as we have been doing the past few weeks, bellows breath or Bhastrika Pranayama, which is an energizing breath work that helps to increase oxygen intake in the lungs, as well as clear the mind. So I'm going to quickly demonstrate in case you're new to it. It begins with the elbows bent apart, hands like fists. Mouth is closed, eyes are closed. You're breathing into the belly, equal inhale and exhale through the nose. So as you breathe in, you lift the arms straight, the fingers spread, and as you breathe out, the elbows rebend, the hands like fists. It's like this. So if you want to give that a try for 1 minute of practice, do what you can. Begin with your elbows bent to the sides. Ready? Begin. Relax, release your hands, and breathe naturally for a moment, just taking a moment to observe. Let's continue with Ujjayi Pranayama as you close the lips, sustaining the breath equally through the nose, while softly narrowing the back of your throat to create a gentle whispering sound. The style of breathing helps to relax the nervous system, warm up the body, and steady focus in the mind. So attuning to a calm, balanced breath, know when it's disrupted, to know when to slow your body down and perhaps move at a different pace than I'm leading, or to even take rest. So still listening to that breath, softly open your eyes. And let's come down to all fours, hands and knees. So as you bring your knees to the ground directly under your hips, parallel your shins, but set your wrists about 2 inches in front of your shoulders. And as we set up for moving the spine, let's also stretch the wrists by spinning out the hands. So your fingertips turn out either towards the outer sides of your mat or maybe back towards the knees. Again, finding that balance of ease yet challenge. Now, as you inhale to cow, first stretch the spine forward from the pelvis. Then right under your shoulder blades, contract the back to lift the chest, looking up as you slide the shoulders down. For cat pose, exhale, contract the belly so that you're rounding your back, dropping the skull and tucking the tailbone under. Again, inhale, stretch the spine forward, then coil your chest up, cow pose. Exhale, contract your belly, tuck the tailbone under and drop the skull to round, cat pose. And then on your own cycles of breath, keep going, a few more, Viralasana, cat cow pose. Notice that the Sanskrit word of each posture ends with asana. Again, defined as a steady and comfortable posture. With an exhale, relax to a neutral spine. Spin your index fingers forward to parallel each other. Spread the thumbs wide and flat. Now let's stay in plank pose where your wrists are directly under your shoulders. Your gaze is on the floor ahead of your hands, so you're lengthening the neck. And you're broadening the shoulder blades apart by rotating the outer sides of your upper arms, your triceps, towards the back of your mat. Feel your lower abdomen lift slightly towards the back. So you're engaging the belly, elongating tailbone to crown, maybe even straightening the legs. So you're reaching the tailbone energetically towards the space between the heels as you firm the heels back. Let's take 3 more breaths. Your center is that area just below the belly button. Feel that contained by lifting it slightly rather than letting it collapse towards the mat. Take a deep breath. Now on an exhale, glide forward, keeping the chest and belly on the same plane. Bend the elbows back, and with arms parallel, hug them by your side ribs. Notice halfway down, that's a pose called Chaturanga Dandasana. Then carefully lower all the way down. As you point your toes on the mat, firm the tops of your feet so your knees are actually lifted as you keep your legs straight and your pelvis on the floor. Feel your wrists alongside your floating ribs as you continue to hug your bent elbows by your sides. With an inhalation, contract the area of your back right under your shoulder blades so that you uplift the chest while pressing the shoulder blades down the back. Let's take a few breaths in Cobra pose. Look on the ground just ahead and feel the length along the back of your neck. Feel every toenail firming into the ground. Now with an exhalation, tuck your toes behind, press through the hands, engage your center area, lower belly, and press up, lifting the pelvis as high as you can, perhaps with very bent knees. Draw your weight towards the rear of your mat. So as you spread your fingers, it feels like your hands are pushing the mat away from your feet, feeling as though you have a flat back. Now take a look at your feet, see that they're hips width or maybe wider and parallel. And then take a moment if you'd like to pedal the feet around. It can help to warm up your hamstrings, your calves. Or softly shake and nod your head to help loosen your neck. Common area we can hold tension. And then remember that rotating the triceps, spin them towards the ground so that you're still broadening the shoulder blades across your back ribs, engaging your latissimus dorsi, the lats. Now firming the fronts of your thigh bones back, keep lifting your sitting bones. Remember, you can bend your knees as much as needed here to find the full length of your spine and not round the shoulders towards the neck. Think of shifting your weight towards the rear of the mat as we hold still for 2 more breaths. Listening to that sound at the back of your throat as you exhale through the nose. Now begin to walk your hands back towards your feet, folding over your legs in Uttanasana, forward fold. Again, you can bend the knees as much as needed here to create a long spine, even the neck, by lifting the shoulders away from it. Shift your weight a little more towards the balls of your feet, press into the ground ahead, maybe on blocks, or onto your legs. And as you firm the belly like plank, breathe in to stretch your spine parallel to the floor, sliding the shoulders back. Keep all of that length and exhale, hinge forward. Firming down to your feet, inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides, rising all the way up to stand. Watch your palms meet. Exhale, trace your thumbs down the center line of your body into mountain pose, palms facing forward. Standing tall, let's take a couple rounds of half sun salutation. Breathe in, circle the arms overhead, gazing up. Breathe out, hinge forward with a long spine, maybe bending the knees to do that. Press the ground of your legs and inhale, lift your heart, lengthening your spine forward. Exhale, fold in. Rooting down to your feet, inhale, sweep the arms overhead, watching your palms meet. Exhale, bring them together at your heart center. One more time. Inhale, raise the arms in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow into Uttanasana. Inhale, half bow, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale again, Uttanasana. Root down to the feet, inhale, rise up towards the sky in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, back to Tadasana. Now let's step up to the top of the mat and we'll flow slowly through sun salutation. See different ways of energizing and warming up in a moving meditation. So inhale, sweep the arms overhead, watch the palms touch again. Exhale, bow forward, press with your hands, and inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Lower your fingertips outside of your heels and step your left knee back to the ground in a kneeling lunge, making sure your legs are hips width apart and the front knee is stacked directly above the heel. Imagine that you're dragging your legs towards each other. Don't visibly move them, but just feel that energetically, that stability to lift the spine upright. If you need support to balance here, you can press your hands on the very top of your right thigh. Otherwise, raise the arms overhead, but relax the shoulders down and feel the bowl shape of your pelvis orient upright. So you're slightly lifting the frontal hip bones and you're anchoring the tailbone down towards the earth. Take another deep breath and lengthen the sides of your torso. As you exhale, backstroke your hands to the top of your mat and step to your version of plank pose. Continuing as you glide forward, bend the elbows to hug your side ribs, come all the way down. Root down to the tops of your feet so the knees slightly lift and keep the pelvis on the floor. Inhale, coil the chest up, relax the back of your neck. Exhale, tuck the toes, engage your belly to press up, lifting the pelvis high, draw your weight towards the rear of your mat, downward dog. Let's take a deep breath in and out here. On an inhale, raise your left leg slowly behind you, keeping the toes facing the floor. As you exhale, slowly round your back and lightly step the left foot just inside of your left hand, lowering the right knee, untuck the back toes. With your legs hips distance, stack the front knee over the heel, energize your legs as if dragging them towards each other to create stability. Rising up, lifting the arms, or using the help of the hands, pressing the front of your left thigh down. So feel the lift from tailbone through each vertebra of your spine, through your neck and crown. while the shoulders relax. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, backstroke your hands and land them at the top of your mat, stepping the right foot forward to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, rising up to stand. Exhale, the hands down by your sides. Side two. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, press to lengthen halfway. Fingertips by heels. Exhale, right knee steps back. Press through the left foot and inhale, rise up. Circle the hands to the mat, stepping into plank. Exhale, lower forward, then down. Now, if you're going for a deeper back bend, untuck the toes halfway down. Otherwise, go all the way down. Either way, legs are strong and you're coiling the chest from right under the shoulder blades. That's upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Pause there, taking one deep breath. Inhale, raise the right leg behind you, toes facing the floor. Exhale, softly step the right foot just inside of your right hand, lower the back knee, untuck the toes. Legs hips width, front knee over heel, breathe in to rise up, tall in the spine. Backstroke your hands to the top of your mat as you breathe out to step left foot forward and fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Watch your palms touch. Exhale, bring the hands together at your heart. Flowing into sun salutation A. Inhale, circle the arms overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, press to lengthen halfway. Plant your hands and step into your version of plank. Exhaling as you glide forward, hug the elbows in through chaturanga, and choose to lower to cobra or to flip the toes into upward facing dog. As you exhale, downward facing dog. Let's stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, re-steadying the sound rhythm through your nose. Recommitting to balance of steadiness and ease in your body. We'll take one more sun salutation A, just like that. So with very bent knees, lift your heels high and look past your hands. Take a full cycle of breath. So at the end of your exhalation, you hold the breath, engage the lower belly, lift the pelvic floor to walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat in a forward fold. From there, inhale, press with your hands, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, circle the arms to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands together, mountain pose. One more, inhale, the arms overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift the heart, Ardha Uttanasana. Some of you might choose to lightly jump to chaturanga if that's normally part of your practice. Otherwise, step back to plank and lower. Cobra, Bhujangasana, or upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Meet in downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana, for 3 to 5 deep breaths. So as we hold downward dog this time, let's bring more attention into how we create space along the chest, neck, and shoulders. Seeing that your hands are shoulders width apart on the floor, notice that your index fingers are pointing straight ahead. They're parallel to each other, not pointing towards each other. Now between your thumb and index, firm into the ground, especially to protect your wrists. Your weight is shifting more from an angle, not from directly above. Now as you continue to press the mat away with your hands, bring your attention to your shoulders. Rotate the outer sides of your upper arms, which are your triceps, towards the floor. So you feel your shoulder blades broaden and slightly wrap around the sides of your upper ribs. Now, rebounding your weight through the hands, lift the shoulder blades up away from the neck. Drop your skull completely, looking towards your feet. Let's take 2 more breaths. Now from here, inhale, raise the right leg behind you. Look under your belly, see the toes facing the ground. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your nose and round forward in plank.
Softly land the right foot behind your right wrist, behind it. So your 2 feet are still hips width apart. Spin the left heel down. It might require you to step it forward another inch or few. Now, if you have a strap to assist any tightness in the shoulders to help open it, grab that. Then bring your hands to your hips. Press down through both feet, engage the belly, and lead with your chest to inhale, rise up. So you want a stance that's not too large, like right now is a little bit large for me. You want it to be about 2/3 of as wide as you could in a lunge or in warrior one, so that you can evenly weigh down on both feet while turning both hips facing forward and keep the legs straight. And then now holding the strap in your left hand, dangle the tail of it behind your back. If you don't have a strap, don't worry. There's another thing you could do in a moment. So use your right hand and carry the left bent elbow behind the center of your head, rotating the left tricep slightly towards the front wall of your room. So now feel your left hand land between your shoulder blades. If you don't have a strap, you can grab hold of your shirt there. With your right hand reaching behind you underneath, either grab the other end of the strap or your shirt and walk your hands as close together as you can. For some of you, you might release the strap if your fingers meet to clasp. From here, re-energize your base, carrying your weight. That's your feet. Spread your toes, engage the fronts of your thighs, engage the lower belly, and now inhale, broaden and lift your chest. Slide the shoulders away from your neck. Keep the spine long. As you exhale, begin to hinge towards your inner right shin. Pause and see if your right hip is coming forward a bit. Draw it back towards the rear of your mat slightly to realign your hips squared. Folding a little more as you breathe out. Notice the natural space you're maintaining between your chin and your chest to allow breath to flow easily. So the leveling of your hips allows the sides of your torso to equally lengthen, the left and right sides. Let's take 2 more breaths in this posture. Utthita Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. Feel the weight of your left heel firming into the ground. That helps to counterbalance as you fold forward. Now engage the belly and lift from your chest. Inhale to slowly rise all the way up. So from here, bring your hands to your hips. Slide your right foot to the left so it's about front and center of your mat, and step your left foot another foot or so back. Now your hips are pointing towards the upper left corner of your room. Warrior 2. Align your right heel to intersect the arch of your left foot and bend your right knee to stack just above the heel. So by turning your left leg slightly inward from the hip, causing the knee and toes to point slightly to the front of your mat, you allow your right leg to completely turn out from the hip. So the sitting bone wraps under, front knee aligns with middle toe. Notice again the bowl shape of your pelvis, aligning it upright with a slight lift in the lower belly. Lengthen the spine upright and open your arms. Now steady your eyes. Gazing just past your right hand, feel your breathing. Does it resemble the qualities of effort balanced with ease? And if it doesn't, ways to lighten the intensity of this posture is to step your feet slightly closer together. Put less of a bend in the right knee. You know what you need in this physical practice today. Feeling into your inner alignment, let's take 2 more breaths. In Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Pressing down through both feet, straighten the right leg as we prepare for triangle pose, in which you might like to shorten your stance about 2 inches for stability. Keep engaging the fronts of your thighs and slide your pelvis sideways towards the rear edge of your mat while reaching your right hand forward like you're trying to touch the front wall of your room before tilting that hand downward onto your right leg or just to the right of the leg where arm and leg can press each other. Feel that you're able to wrap the right outer hip slightly underneath your body so that you don't feel any compression in this right side of your lower back or torso. Continue to engage the lower belly towards the back. As you lift the left arm, stack your wrists and shoulders in one line, lengthening the crown of your head towards your front wall. If it feels okay on your neck, while spiraling the middle of your chest towards the sky, steady your gaze up past the left thumb. If it doesn't, look forward or down. In Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let's take 3 more deep breaths. Sweeping the left arm overhead, land your 2 hands to frame your right foot and step back to plank pose. If you need to move a bit, lower through a vinyasa or a cat-cow. Otherwise, let's meet in downward facing dog. Once there, feel the effects on your body just through that short sequence of postures. Now keep broadening the shoulder blades, lengthening the neck as you shift your weight towards the rear of your mat. Inhale, raise the left leg behind you, turning the toes to face the ground. Exhale, bend the left knee towards your nose, rounding forward in plank. Lightly step the foot forward behind your left wrist. Spin the right heel down. You might need to walk it forward a few more inches. Then grab your strap if you're going to use it for the other shoulder. Bring your hands to your hips, firm the front of your thighs, your belly, and lead with your chest, inhaling to rise. So have your stance where your feet can completely be on the floor, equally weighted, your 2 hips are facing forward, and your legs are straight. Then raise your right hand holding the strap so it's dangling behind your back. With your left hand, bring your right bend to elbow behind the center of your head, wrapping the right tricep slightly towards your front wall. Pressing that shoulder down, right hand lands between the shoulder blades. If you don't have a strap, you can grab your shirt there. Reach the left hand under, grab the strap or your shirt, and walk your hands as close together as you can, or clasp the hands. From here, reestablish your base, your connection to the ground. Spread your toes, engage the muscles in the fronts of your thighs, your belly, then breathe in to broaden and lift your chest. As you exhale, keep your hips squared and start to bow towards your inner left shin, then pause. You might need to draw the left hip back a little if it's shifted forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine some more. Exhale, fold another little bit. Keep going at your pace, finding the range of the forward fold that allows you to still maintain that naturally open space between chin and chest and through all the sides of your neck, rather than rounding the back. So let's take 2 more deep breaths in Utthita Parshvattanasana, pyramid pose. These postures put the body in different shapes, helping to clear it of the distractions that may prevent us from being able to sit still and meditate, tuning deeper inward. Lead with your chest. Breathe in to slowly rise. Bring your hands to your hips. Step your left foot to the front and center of your mat. Keep it facing forward. Step your right foot another foot or so back. So your hips are now facing the upper right corner of your room. Bend your left knee is stacked just above the heel. Feel your right leg slightly internally rotate. So the knees and toes are slightly facing the front of your mat. As your left outer hip rotates underneath, align the front knee, middle toe, and midline of your mat. Feel the bowl shape of your pelvis orient upright as you slightly lift your frontal hip bones to create the most length in your spine as you open the arms wide. Relax the shoulders down
and steady your gaze, your drishti, right past the left hand. Now feel the overall energy of the way you're holding your body up here. Finding that equilibrium. Let's take 3 more breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Keep your feet as they are and straighten the left leg. If you'd like a little more stability here, bring the feet about 2 inches closer together for triangle. Engage the fronts of your thighs and slide your pelvis sideways towards the rear edge of your mat while reaching your left hand forward towards your front wall. Equally lengthen both sides of your torso as you place the left hand down onto your leg or just to the left outside the leg, pressing arm and leg against each other. Now, rotate that left outer hip again underneath your body while drawing your tailbone back towards the right heel and lengthening the crown of your head forward towards your front wall. As you raise the right arm, feel your wrists and shoulders stack. How is your breath here helping to guide you in to the right amount of effort to put in this pose? Gaze might be up towards the right thumb or modified for your neck. Let's take 4 more breaths here in Utthita Trikonasana. This time, root down through your feet. We're going to exit differently. Inhale, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, step your rear foot to the front of your mat. Come to stand in mountain pose. As your feet touch, let your big toes connect, your heels be slightly apart. We're going to set up to flow once in a continuous 1 breath per motion, sun salutation B. So listen carefully and try most to sustain your breath as you listen to it at the back of the throat. So begin with your arms by your sides. With feet touching, bend your knees together to touch. Inhale, sit low, shift your weight towards your heels. Arms up in chair pose. Exhale, bow forward, straightening the legs. Press the legs to the ground. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Float to chaturanga or step to plank, exhaling to lower forward and down. Inhale to your choice of cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, raise your right leg straight behind you, squaring the hips. Exhale, step the foot forward inside of your right hand, feet hips width, back heel down. Face forward, inhale, rise all the way up to warrior 1. Exhale, lower through plank, either into cat-cow or a full vinyasa of your choice. Pace it at your breath. We'll meet in downward dog. Arriving there, inhale, raise the left leg back, hips square. Exhale, step the foot forward inside of left hand, spin the right heel down. Face forward and inhale, rise to warrior 1. Exhale, lower into your choice of flow. Vinyasa, cat-cow, or no flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. This time, let's take 3 to 5 breaths in downward. Now bending the knees deeply, look past your hands and take a full breath. At the end of it, walk or float to the top of your mat. Feet touch. Then inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, fold in. Knees touch. Inhale, sit low in chair pose. But start to lower the pelvis very slowly onto the ground. Imagine your back is sliding against a wall.
Coming all the way down to sit. Once the pelvis meets the floor, sit up on your tips of your sitting bones to lift the spine tall. Arms forward, palms face up, shoulders relax down. Then lift your legs off the floor, either catching hold of the backs of your thighs, feet are flexed or pointed, or bringing the hands to the ground or reaching the arms forward. Knees can be bent or legs straight here in Navasana. Take a deep inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, that's 7. Finding your balance here, breathe in. Energetic balance, exhale, that's 6. Relax the muscles on the face, inhale. Exhale, 5. Feel the lift from the bottom of your spine, inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhaling. Exhale, 3. Shoulders relax down, inhale. Exhale, 2. One more deep breath, lift the spine tall. Exhale, slowly lower your feet onto the ground. Separate your feet about hips width apart and see that your pelvis is towards the middle of your mat. Now, if you have a yoga block, good idea to take the skinniest width of it or something like this to hug firmly between your thighs, giving the lower back even more support. If you don't have one, pretend and feel that firming in towards the midline. So root through the 4 corners of your feet, extend the arms forward again with the palms up, long spine, shoulders relax. Now steady the breathing and slowly lower onto your back. Engaging various muscles throughout your torso to stabilize your lumbar spine. Strengthening core stability. Nice, so once you land here, slide your feet back until you could almost touch your heels with your fingertips, but not quite. Ground the backs of your shoulders, ground the 4 corners of your feet, spreading the toes. We're gonna go up on an inhale, that's the pelvis, and then down on an exhale twice, keeping the arms close to your side ribs. So as you breathe in, press through your feet and lift the pelvis, stretch the thighs forward, hugging that real or imaginary block as you tilt the chin back, opening the chest. As you exhale, carefully lower the upper vertebrae, the middle spine, and finally the tailbone. Try one more just like that at your own pace of breath. You inhale to lift up, actively stretching the tailbone forward towards the space between your knees. Feet are firmly grounded. And exhale, articulate, kissing the earth, one vertebra at a time. So now we're gonna move into bridge pose, staying there for your own count of 7 to 10 deep breaths. So pressing down through feet and shoulders. Inhale, lift the pelvis high. Keep the thighs parallel, keep the feet parallel. Keep breathing here. Slide the upper arms closer together underneath your back ribs. Now keeping your arms straight, if the hands meet easily, then go ahead and interlace your fingers. If they don't, keep them apart. Press the ground with the outsides of your upper arms and tilt the chin slightly away from your chest. This posture helps to encourage expansion in the lungs, so feel that with each inhale. Also opening the fronts of your hips, your hip flexors, as you energetically drag the heels towards your glutes. So that doesn't mean visibly. So just engaging the hamstrings while stretching the fronts of your thighs forward. You decide when you're finished with 7 to 10 deep breaths. Again, use the exhalation to slowly lower one vertebra at a time. When the pelvis lands, open the arms wide like a T. If you don't have a block, you might prefer to hug your thighs together rather than keeping a space between. So feet are together too. Lift your shins parallel to the floor so your knees are bent to stack above your hips. Now elongate your tailbone actively towards the front edge of your mat by firming the lower belly towards the back. With both shoulders staying grounded, breathe in, lengthen the neck. Exhale, slowly lower your knees to the right, almost touching the floor but not collapsing down, while keeping the left shoulder rooted on the ground. Inhale, slow and controlled, lift the knees back to center. All the while, both shoulders stay grounded. Exhale, slowly lower the knees to the left to hover but not collapse. Inhale, lift the knees back to center. If you're looking for more rigor, straighten the legs, point or flex the feet. Exhale, hover to the right. Inhale, lift the legs up to center. Exhale, hover to the left. Now try twice or maybe 3 more on each side at your own slow pace of mindful breathing. If you're keeping the legs straight, you might try diagonally, reaching the legs towards the upper right corner of the room and doing that symmetrically on the left side. You'll notice different parts of the abdominal regions engage. Shoulders stay relaxed, jaw is soft, breath is calm and smooth. So when you feel like you've done enough and even on both sides, catch hold of your bent knees and take a few breaths of rotating your thighs apart and together a few times. Switching directions too, as you lubricate your hip joints and massage your glutes and lower back. Then catch hold of your bent knees, rounding your back like a ball. Either rock side to side or forward and back to build enough momentum where you could. Lift your torso upright and come back to all fours, hands and knees. Setting your wrists on the ground to start, your knees on the floor. Lengthen the spine like a flat back. Lift the lower belly as you would in plank. And now extend the left leg straight behind you, turning the toes down so the left outer hip points at the floor. The inner left thigh spirals slightly towards the ceiling. Lift the lower belly and broaden the chest forward. Steady breaths. Either stay here or extend the right arm forward so the upper arm is in line with your right ear as you look slightly down. Drawing the right shoulder back so both shoulders are equidistant from your ears. Either stay here or bend the left knee, backstroke the right arm, and with the right hand catch hold of your left ankle or foot, thinking of the counter forces of a bow and arrow. Kicking the left leg towards straight as you pull the foot towards your glute, lifting your weight through that left hand as you open the chest. You might even play with the challenge of looking up for about 2, maybe 3 more deep breaths, broadening the front of your right shoulder and lengthening the front of your left hip and thigh. Now without slingshotting it, straighten the left leg back, reach the right arm forward, traction the spine to full length as you breathe in, and exhale, bend right elbow and left knee to touch, contract the belly and round. Inhale, re-lengthen. Exhale, set the hands and knees to the ground. Let's set up for side 2. Extend the chest forward, feel the length of somewhat a flat back, lift the lower belly. Raise the right leg straight behind you, not too high, so you want it just about the height of the hip. Press the heel back and flex the foot. Hug the left hip towards the center line of your body and turn the right outer hip downward towards the ground. Lift the lower belly and maybe explore raising the left arm forward so that the upper arm aligns with your left ear as you look ahead on the ground. Drawing the left shoulder back to line up with the right. Spring your weight off the floor through the right hand. Deep breaths. Now, if you have arm and leg lifted, you might also explore bending the right knee, backstroking the left arm, and with the left hand catching hold of right foot or ankle as you kick the leg towards straight and pull the foot, using counter forces to balance as you coil the chest open. Maybe looking up,
Let's take 2 or 3 more breaths. Feel a slight lift at your center, right below the belly button, even though you might be arching the back. Controlled, breathe in, lengthen the right leg back, the left arm forward if it's lifted. Exhale, contract, elbow and knee touch, rounding the back. Inhale, lengthen, tractioning the spine long. Exhale, set, hands and knees to the ground. Take a deep breath in your version of plank and exhale, slowly lower, forward, then down. Lower your right ear to the ground and slide your right arm straight out to the right with a palm face down. Left hand on the floor beside the left ribs, press the floor away with it and begin to roll your body over to your right hip. Leaning into that inner right shoulder, slide the right shoulder down the back. Now decide how much intensity you need in this posture to open that inner shoulder. If you need more, you can lean further back, maybe stepping the left foot behind you off the mat. You might explore how it feels to wrap the left arm behind you, or to step the right foot flat as well. Whatever version you're in, how does it honor balance? Last 2 deep breaths. The end of your exhale, slowly unwind to your belly, forehead to the floor. And let's take our time switching sides. Place the right hand beside your right ribs. Slide the left arm straight out to the left, palm face down. As you press the ground away with the right hand, gently roll your body onto your left hip. Slide the left shoulder down your back. And feel out this side, it might be different from the first. Perhaps this is plenty of intensity. Or maybe you need to step the right foot behind you, bending the knee towards the sky. Perhaps you explore wrapping the right arm behind, or also stepping the left foot to the ground. Feel the breath in, encouraging, broadening your chest. Feel the breath out, helping to release any sort of energetic knots within the body, especially along your neck and shoulders. Last deep breath here. The end of the exhale, slowly unwind onto your belly. Lower your forehead to the ground, slide both hands alongside your floating ribs, then slide your pelvis to your feet in child's pose. Feet touching, knees bent either together or as wide apart as it allows your pelvis to drop down to your feet comfortably. Have the arms wherever you like. If you're looking for more lengthening in the lower back, you could stretch the arms actively forward, pressing the mat away. Feel this inhalation fully, then open your mouth and empty the breath completely. Walk your hands back alongside your knees and tuck your chin to your chest. On an inhale, roll your spine slowly upright to sit. Bringing your legs in front of you, straighten them and separate your feet, your hips distance apart. We're preparing to fold forward, so if you'd like to use a strap, you can wrap it around the balls of your feet with enough slack so that your shoulders are relaxed back and down away from your neck. If you don't have a strap, you could raise your arms overhead and pretend you're pulling on 2 straps from the sky, getting taller and taller as you flex your feet and press through your sitting bones. Lifting the heart, let it lead as you bow, exhaling. Now, if you don't have straps to hold, do hold on to your legs. You can walk your hands down them. You could clasp your big toes. Find a semblance of a baby cobra pose in your chest and shoulders. Draw the fronts of your shoulder heads slightly behind you and press them down away from your neck. Grow through the lower spine and lift the heart slightly, broadening the chest, gazing ahead of you on the ground for 3 more deep breaths. Paschimottanasana. Now again, leading from the heart center, breathe in to slowly rise up. Breathe out to lower all the way down onto your back. As soon as your head meets the earth, close your eyes, release control of your breath, and gift yourself a pause in stillness for a few minutes of Shavasana.
Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase.
As final 2 minutes of practice, feel free to stay still in Shavasana or begin to lift your body up to sit in meditation. Find a comfortable seat or Sukhasana for meditation. As you continue to breathe naturally, feeling your own inner presence. You watching the impermanence of thoughts and emotions. You as pure consciousness. If you're still lying down and want to end practice with us, please gently begin to move your body and lift it up to sit. Finding the palms to meet our heart, this gesture of union between our physical being, our mental being, our spiritual being, and in oneness with each other. Let's close in the chant that resembles that, the chant of Om. Take a deep breath. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.